הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וקול זמרה, בחצוצרות וקול שופר. הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושביה. נהרות ימחאו יחד, הרים ירננו, ירם הים ומלואו, עם ויושביה. נהרות ימחאו יחד, הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני קיווה, לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, ועמים במישרים. ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושביה. נהרות ימחאו יחד, הרים ירננו. So into and intro, da 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 da, which is measure 8. Yeah.
But I'll do it.
You ready?
What?
Oh, I thought you wanted to run it.
No. Start the Zoom. Turn the phone on silent. Let's see what happens.
So when are they doing this?
Tuesday. Starting Tuesday.
This Tuesday.
Yep. Monday I'll give you a call and say there's going to be more work. Let's see if we can do more work Tuesday and Wednesday, or they have to make plans, especially for stuff that's going to go under. Now, did you see Dan's email? He wants to rip up the carpet, trench this, and then later.
Well, it shouldn't be necessary considering that it's already been laid, so those holes are already there.
Right.
So you should be able to feed it through.
I'll let them figure it out.
Yeah. You know, I mean, if we can't put it into the floor, so be it, but then we're gonna continue to have this ugliness of the wires.
Well, there are ways around that. You know, resting it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't care that much, but it was invisible when it was, you know, when it was just plugged right there. Okay. welcome back. Miss you.
You sound good.
Meh, but thank you. You got 10 minutes to let those charge.
What?
You got 10 minutes to let those charge. It's very shocking to hear that a missile hit the old city. That kind of zone was off limits.
Nothing's off limits right now. I don't know if it just, they really can't direct where they're sending things, or, yeah, I saw a video of it blown up. It wasn't, it was inside, I think it hit like one of a wall or something. It looked like it was on the west side, where not a lot of people call, so it didn't get anybody.
And the Iron Dome missed it, I guess.
Yeah, and then I read that one of the Israeli reservists tried to undo, was arrested for being a spy for Iran and giving information. So I wonder, that's where all these missiles are coming from.
Wait, say that again?
An Israeli reservist who was working on the Iron Dome was just arrested as a spy for Iran and was giving them information. So I'm wondering if that's why so many of these missiles were getting through. Isn't that, that's for money. That's all. I know.
At you?
Yes. I assume as a real reservist. I don't think it's really everything the way the Jews are, but the Jews are really devoted.
They're also the ones that are doing it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, you said an Israeli reservist, right? I think it's
Frederica, who just made out, she, like this week, she said that Joppa Gate is closed, Kotel is closed. Has Kotel ever been closed? I mean, ever?
even during COVID, you could be outside. No, because it's indiscriminate where they're falling. It's getting everywhere. There's one outside with Rob and Jody Stone. People were killed in that. That was earlier on. When it first started. Actually hit a bomb shelter in Israel. In Olson. And then I read a couple in their 70s, like Stephen Meyer. He was disabled and had a hard time walking fast. Didn't make it to the shelter. Those are sort of a little more personal, you know. They're all personal, but yeah, that's just awful. I hope the Rock is going to be able to come. stop them from making nuclear weapons. It's temporary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for how long? And then they come back first.
But if you don't, Israelis apparently with Order 11 they support this. Most of them support it because they don't live in fear of being safe and dropping a nuclear bomb. So I thought of another reason why the people are just nasty. It's not just the radiation, but the whole world. It's awful, and you feel powerless to do anything. And so they're telling me the more the snow raises in the ocean, the less they can do something to control it. You know, I don't do that out of control. It's yeah, we get more guards, but I also sort of feeling it too, just the general awfulness in the world, and particularly in this country, when you just feel out of control. One chap responded, it's per person. Well, I'll give you an extra money. I said, I'll give you extra, don't just give you extra money for your dinner. I said, didn't answer that night because I was drunk. I slept on it. But a long explanatory, only explain the difference between sponsorship and donation. And sometimes there's just small donations, but donations according to what you want to give. Sponsorship, most of it is at a high price to cover all the expenses, so the temple is not losing money. And I said, yes, this is budgeted, but budgeting, the board gives you $5,000 budget, but the deficit is, you really don't have the money. Coming from somewhere, but not. So I explained.
And a sponsorship isn't something you have to do.
Right, that's what I said to her. I said, I purposely did it Friday night, because someone said, we should just do it on a Sunday and church mission. So I purposely had him come set Friday night. To me, so I didn't call him and mom it. But so that everyone could come. I mean, you can't charge admission to service.
Your mom says, oh,
Hi, Mom. I explained it very carefully, and it's so that we do this so that people can come in if they can. Of course, it's not fair to make a single to be a sponsor if a couple's paying the same price. And she responded, thank you. I appreciate the explanation. You'll probably be two sponsors. It's nice being on the cruise. You need to do any decisions. It's done for you. Food was made to you, was served to you. And the whole day, every day planned out. You just followed where
think it is. Hers. Those aren't on. The bottom, just the bottom two.
Hello? Okay. Hello, testing. That sounds good. Oh. We'll test yours. Oh, I need a book, don't I? Hello? Hello? A little loud. Hello, testing. That sounds better.
Double check me, and this picture is now wrong. Testing, test. Are we good? Okay. My cordless doesn't have batteries that work because the battery charger's broken. It's the sound system poltergeist at work. Page 10. Please join with me. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom.
Good evening and Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back, our Floridians. Welcome back to me and Steve. We have made it to Shabbat, that time of the week, that gift from God, to give us a chance to catch our breath. With all that's going on in the world, we need to do that. A chance to reflect on the good things that are going on in our lives and be grateful. A chance to reflect on the challenges and ask God to give us strength. So let's take a moment of silent reflection. We call this room a sanctuary, really a chance to get away. So really use it tonight as a sanctuary, an escape, to take care of yourself, to meditate, to feel calm and protected, to connect with God in any way that works for you. Let's make it a true sanctuary. So I invite you to take a nice deep breath in, inhaling the second soul of Shabbat, and slowly exhale all the troubles, the worries, leave them at the door. We'll pick them up again when Shabbat is over. We continue with the candle blessing on page 2 and page 3. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת, של שבת. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Page 8. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created, and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, to bring that vision to life. We continue on page 16. Zamru Adonai.
Zamru Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatotzrot v'kol shofar. Hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, Zamru Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatotzrot v'kol shofar. Hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, Yiram hayam umlo, tevel v'yoshveva, liharot imcha uchav yachad, harim yiranenu, Yiram hayam umlo, tevel v'yoshveva, liharot imcha uchav yachad, harim yiranenu, lifnei Adonai kiva, lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel b'tzedek, ve'amim b'meisharim, Yiram hayam umlo, tevel v'yoshveva, liharot imcha uchav yachad, harim yiranenu.
The rabbis taught that Shabbat is me'ein olam haba, a taste of the world to come. Not a distant world, but a possibility we can touch even now. For 6 days we shape the world. On the 7th we are invited to let the world shape us, to notice what is already here, rest, connection, breath, presence. In a world that constantly tells us to do more, Shabbat whispers, you are enough as you are. As we prepare to sing Lecha Dodi, return to greet the Sabbath bride, not as something outside ourselves, but as a space within that has been waiting all week to be found. Page 20.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת תקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם ניסוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בא אורך ומאורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We rise and face the entrance to welcome the Sabbath bride.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Please be seated. The bottom of page 25. Waking from his sleep, Jacob said, "Truly Adonai is in this place, and I did not know it." He was awestruck and said, "How awe-inspiring is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven."
ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון, ובחיי דכו בית ישראל, בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם לעולמי המיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה ברכו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, tu shpechata v'nechemata damiran me'alma ve'imeru Amen.
Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. We rise for tefillah, for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship.
Baruchu et Adonai hamivorach. Baruch Adonai hamivorach leolam va'ed.
Please be seated. Top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. And page 32. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We rise for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shofbecha u'v'kumecha u'keshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema antizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kidoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet.
Page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from holiness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. The earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, It has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, Torah tehilot osefele, Torah tehilot osefele. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zeili, zeili, anu v'yamiru. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. V'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, ugealo miad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the song-lofty evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection, safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
V'shamiru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Shet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz uvayom hashvi shavat
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We rise for the tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor veHanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Geula livnei v'neihem, Lema'an Shemo b'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham be'ezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol ata Rav le'hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishene afar. Mi chamocha ba'al givurot, umido melach, melech be'mit u'mechayeh, u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. Page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you. In this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha v'yira na'avod. Before we continue with our communal prayer of thanksgiving, I'd like to invite you to take a moment to reflect on your own lives, to think of something that you are personally grateful for that you would like to offer thanks to God. Join me on the top of page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha l'cha na'eh l'hodot. We continue with our prayer for peace.
Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha livarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom, Shalom.
We continue with our prayer for healing on page 253. Is there anyone who'd like to offer a name for someone in need of healing, physically, spiritually, or emotionally? May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those whose names we mentioned, along with those in our list in your pamphlet, and all others who are in need of healing. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for the health to be restored, their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say Amen.
Amen.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We take a moment for silent prayer, a chance for our own personal thoughts and meditations.
Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel, ve'imru amen. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom, shalom imramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Israel, amen.
When I first got accepted to rabbinical school, we were required to read the entire Tanakh before showing up. As I was reading, I started wondering where my Torah portion was. I remembered that it was Baha'alotecha, and that it started with, Vayomer Adonai el Moshe, and God said to Moses. But I didn't know where to find it, so I learned there was a book called the Concordance, in which you could look up a word and find out everywhere that word appeared in the Torah. So I thought this would be easy. I'd just look up Vayomer Adonai el Moshe. Well, guess what? It appears 146 times because God speaks to Moses a lot. Each time God tells Moses to tell the people something, it says Vayomer Adonai el Moshe. This week, we start with a new book, Vayikra, and it begins differently. It says Vayikra el Moshe, which means God called to Moses, not Vayomer, God said to Moses. So why the change in verb here? Rashi suggests that the word called signifies that it is a private and intimate moment of divine calling from God just to Moses, that the Israelites were not supposed to hear this part. Yiska Smith, who is a spiritual leader living and teaching in Jerusalem, suggests that God calls to Moses because God shares with Moses what Moses' individual calling from God is, rather than what Moses is to tell the Israelites. And if God calls to Moses with a task that only he can do, might we also possess an individual divine mission for which each of us was created to do, even if we do not know yet what it is? In 1992, when I was a congregant, I was asked to chant from the Torah on Yom Kippur by our rabbi. I worked hard to learn the Torah portion. It would be the first time reading from the Torah since my bat mitzvah. And after I chanted the verses on the bima, I looked up at the congregation and said, "This is what I should be doing." It was a special feeling that came over me. You could say at that moment I had a calling from God to become a rabbi. Not all of us hear our calling as loudly as I did. The Meor Einayim commentator notes that the Hebrew slaves did not hear their calling immediately upon their freedom from slavery. So God had to instruct them to build a mishkan, a tabernacle, a dwelling place for God, so they could better connect to this invisible God on a more personal level. After my calling, it still took me a while to find a way to continually connect with God meaningfully and spiritually. Have you ever felt a calling or heard a calling, a spiritual calling? Perhaps that's why you joined the temple. Perhaps that's why you're here this evening. Perhaps that's why you chose the profession that you did, which sort of forced you to carry out the Jewish traditions and values, a profession that cares about people. So what gives meaning to your life? Can you see that as a calling? Sometimes it's about awareness and perception, figuring out what your calling is. As part of my rabbinic training, I spent a summer doing a hospital chaplaincy. It was an interfaith program, so my classmates were clergy members or clergy students from many different denominations. At first, the hospital chaplaincy was very emotionally difficult for me. I spent hour after hour, day after day, visiting people who were very sick or were dying. I went home each night emotionally drained. And then one day in class, we would get together with our students after we made our rounds and discuss what we did. A Christian classmate said every time she goes into a room, she asks, "Where is God at this moment?" Hearing that opened my eyes to see each patient from a different perspective. Instead of focusing on the difficulties they were having, focusing more on where is God in this moment between me and this patient. Our calling, our purpose can change throughout life. Perhaps you lived your life of calling your purpose through your career. And if you are retired, how do you continue to find purpose and meaning in your life? How can you better hear your own personal calling at this time, at this stage in your life? Because the calling may change over the years. Yiska Smith suggests that we need to be ready to hear it. One way is to seek out God's presence in everything we do. Ask at different moments, where is God in this moment? If that is difficult, she suggests these steps. Begin with breath awareness, which we do at the beginning of Shabbat services. Move to quiet your mind. Visualize yourself opening up to hearing your call from God. As you inhale, imagine you are breathing in your calling. As you exhale, imagine accepting being called. And listen. You may not hear a loud, booming voice, but do you hear an actual voice or any kind of voice from within? Most people don't hear this loud, booming voice. And we read in the book of Kings, there was a great and mighty wind, splitting mountains, shattering rocks by the power of Adonai, but God was not in the mighty wind. After the wind, there was an earthquake, but God was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake, a fire, but God was not in the fire. But after the fire, a still small voice. When Elijah heard it, he wrapped his mantle around his face and went out and stood at the entrance of the cave. Perhaps you've been expecting a loud thunderclap, as happened on Mount Sinai, or a visual sign of something. But sometimes a calling can just be an intuitive sense, a still small voice that you really have to pay attention to. You really have to listen to figure out what your purpose is, what your calling is at this moment. May God help us truly to hear that still small voice calling us towards what our purpose is today. Amen.
If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen. yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way and listen, listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen, listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill or from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. Close your eyes and listen, listen, listen to our God. Listen, listen to our God.
We continue with the Aleinu on page 282, and we all rise.
Latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor alenu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim. Lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Vayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo
Please be seated.
Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. I am but a voice, just a cry in the air, but I sing nonetheless in this pain we share. Oh, sweet friends, come and dry your eyes and hold each other by this tree of life. I'm angry and tired of this great divide, but I sing nonetheless with love on our side. Oh, sweet souls who feel broken now, we'll heal together somewhere, somehow. Time and again we have been let down, but we sing nonetheless, still whole and still proud.
As we think of loved ones who have passed on, we know that even though their physical presence is gone, their spiritual presence will always remain. If you're here to say Kaddish for a loved one and you hear their name called, I invite you to rise so we can acknowledge you as a mourner, and the congregation will join you as we recite Kaddish together. In this Shabbat, for the period of Shana, remember David Greenberg, husband of Cantor Sally Neff, and Drew's father, Shirley Biarski, mother of Jody Salant, Robert Freeman, uncle of Seth Schlanger, Joel Cantor, husband of Carol Cantor, Lillian Kurtz, mother of Stephen Kurtz, Sylvia Milch, mother of Pamela Auerbach, grandmother of Max Auerbach, Ann Moses, aunt of Howard Hammer, Robin Nelson, father of Christopher Nelson, Maria Neuwirth, mother of Mrs. Deborah Foreman, Albert Pachansky, father of Karen Schulman, Lillian Yaffe Perlman, mother of Joanne Waldorf, Lillian Radin, mother-in-law of Joan Radin, Ruth Radisher, mother of Paul Radisher, Morris Scheffler, father of Sharon Hitman, Herbert Shapiro, father of Susan Lipton, Alan Siegel, brother of Roger Siegel, Rochelle Stein, wife of Victor Stein, and we remember May Bender, Solomon Brodsky, Gussie Fisher, Lucy Friedman, Bethy Greenberg, Rose Kosover, Pauline Lewis, Lillian Littman, Samuel Joseph Rappaport. Are there any other names you'd like to mention for Kaddish? Then I ask the congregation to rise as we recite Kaddish as a community, page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, v'alma divrach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yameichon, v'chayei techol bet Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudishah b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, tamiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn. May we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, uya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'yimeru. Amen.
Please be seated. I'd like to invite David Furstenberg to come forward, a member of our board, to share some announcements with you.
Shabbat Shalom. Tomorrow morning, Taste of Torah will meet in person and on Zoom at 9 o'clock a.m., followed by Shabbat morning services in person and on Zoom, beginning at 10:30. Join Rabbi Medwin in person or on Zoom this coming Tuesday, March 24th at 7 p.m. for a book discussion on Hearts of a Stranger by Angela Bookhout. Angela is the first Asian American to be ordained as a rabbi. Join us to discuss her stirring journey to become one of the most admired leaders. RTR's first annual open mic night will be held here on Saturday, April 25th at 7 p.m. Do you have a talent you have always wanted to share with an audience filled with people with discerning tastes? Or any taste for that matter. Perhaps you play a musical instrument, fancy yourself as a teller of great or nearly great jokes, a marvelous master of sleight of hand, and card tricks of magic, RTR has a stage for you. Sign up to participate or RSVP to be in the audience. Let Mike Rudder know you are coming. It promises to be truly a great evening. Refreshments will be served. There is no fee to attend. On Sunday, April 12th at 5:30 p.m., our youth group invites you to a fabulous 3-course meal, freshly prepared and served by our youth. There will even be trivia during dessert. A $25 per adult, $15 per child, and kids under 4 are free. Send your check or Zelle payment to the office. Thank you to WRJ Sisterhood and Men's Club for sponsoring tonight's Oneg. If you would like to sponsor an Oneg in honor of or in memory of someone, please contact the office. Shabbat Shalom.
Closing song, Adon Olam, is on page 321. Please join with me.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa B'cherzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara והוא אחד ואין שני להמשיל לו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמצרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי בצור חבלי בצרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אפקיד רוחי בעת אישן בעירה ואם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירה.
We rise for Birkat HaKohanim, the final blessing.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you and keep you.
יאיר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה.
May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום, שלום.
May God's presence be with you always, bring you the most precious gift of peace. Shabbat Shalom. Join us in the back for Motzi and Kiddush and some
Shabbat
desserts.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.